Happy Monday, guys. Welcome to our new unit, Understanding Volume and Measuring Volume in Different Ways. Here is just a little cute little cartoon for our volume. Volume you see in the picture, length times width times height, which you will learn. And then someone wrote, what if someone hits the mute button? That's pretty funny. Get it, volume? Anyway, so we're going to start with our new unit, as I mentioned, volume of cubes and right rectangular prisms. The unit outline is as follows. We're going to start with some vocabulary. We're going to be building solids using unit cubes. We're going to determine the number of unit cubes in an irregular solid, drawing cubes and rectangular prisms, understanding and measuring volume of cubes and rectangular prisms, the formula to find the volume, and finding the volume of composite figures, which means more than one figure in an image. And we'll be doing some word problems as well. So today's objectives, we're going to start with some vocabulary. We're going to be building solids using unit cubes and determining the number of unit cubes. So we're going to take notes on this video. You're going to be watching a study jams and taking notes on that. You'll be working on some workbook pages and doing IXL work. So what's nice about this unit is we can really find some real world items around the house. What do you have in your home that is shaped like a cube? What do you have in your home that is shaped like a rectangular prism? Can you create and build cubes and rectangular prisms, perhaps out of Legos? I will be doing some of that this week. At the end of the week, let's do a show and tell, perhaps with Flipgrid or just uploading images or pictures to Google Classroom of all your cubes you might have in your house and rectangular prisms. And I'm going to be creating some out of Legos. I have some Jenga pieces. Be creative. Find some rectangular prisms in your home. And I will show you some pictures of those. And then we'll learn how to measure these items and finding the volumes in different ways. So think about it. What is a three-dimensional figure? Which is what our focus is on today. A three-dimensional figure is a shape that has three dimensions. Three: height, width, and length, or length, width, and height. This shape right here is actually a rectangular prism. And a rectangular prism, the way we know that it is a rectangular prism is based on its face or its base, which is a rectangular shape. So in 5th grade, we focus on cubes and rectangular prisms. Here's some 3D shapes in the real world. That looks delish. And our favorite Rubik's Cubes, which I know a whole bunch of you have, and Minecraft. So three-dimensional figures. We measure the volume of three-dimensional figures. Volume, copy this down please, is the amount of space that an object takes up. So again, the volume of an object is the amount of space it occupies or takes up. So when we label, this is important here, when we label our, whenever we measure our volume of the shape, we have to say cubic units, no more square units. That was for two-dimensional. Now it's 3. Remember 3, the exponent to the third power is also called cubed. So now it's cubic units or units cubed. So compare the objects. Which object has a greater volume, the softball or the football? Remember, volume means the amount of space an object takes up. So it would be the football has the greater volume. How about the gift box or the carton? Well, we know the carton has a greater volume. It's the amount of space an object takes up. How about the basketball or the can? Basketball, great. All of these three-dimensional shapes, later on tomorrow, we're going to learn how to draw the three-dimensional shapes using special dot paper, or you could just do it on paper and measuring. And here are some rectangular prisms that are here. Is this shape a rectangular prism? Right just means right angles. They all form right angles when we learn that. Perpendicular to each other, perpendicular, right angles, 90 degrees. And sure enough, yes, this shape is a rectangular prism. How about this shape? No, this shape is a triangular pyramid. But we will be focusing on squares and rectangular prisms this year. Is this shape a rectangular prism? It sure is, yes. So this is an important slide. We're going to start taking notes on the different vocabulary. We're going to break down the shapes and know the vocabulary of the shapes. So we describe a solid figure by its faces, edges, and vertices. A plane figure is a flat two-dimensional figure. It only has length and width. And as we learned, polygons are plane figures. But most of the objects around us are 3D figures, or three-dimensional figures. A three-dimensional figure has length, width, and height. Copy that down. A three-dimensional figure has length, width, and height. This is a cube. Each face is a square formed by four sides of equal length. The sides of each square are line segments. So these are faces. So these are all faces. The top and bottom faces of a solid are called bases. They're bases. The bases of a cube, again, is a square. There's just a bunch of squares. When we draw them, they are squares. And then when we put them together, they become a three-dimensional figure. Please copy this down. The top and bottom faces of a solid are called bases. A cube has edges and vertices. An edge of a solid figure is a line segment. So a line segment has two endpoints. So here and here is a line segment. Here, from here to here is a line segment. From here to here is a line segment. An edge of a solid figure is a line segment formed when two faces meet. So that is called a vertex. A vertex is a point where the edges meet. So an edge is like the edge of a tissue box. Like this is an edge, this is an edge, this is the edge. So a cube has 6 faces, 12 edges, and 8 vertices. A cube has 6 faces, 12 edges, and 8 vertices. When you watch the Study Jams video, it shows a great animation of all of this vocabulary. So you must watch the Study Jams video after we finish with this video. But these are great notes to start taking, to start exposing yourself to these vocabulary terms. So a prism. A prism is a solid figure with 2 bases joined by rectangular bases. And they meet an equal basis. So congruent, we know the word is equal. So a prism is named according to the shape of its bases. So rectangular prism, this is a rectangular prism. Its bases are rectangles, therefore it is called a rectangular prism. And all you really need to write down is a rectangular prism has 6 faces, 12 edges, and 8 vertices. Remember, an edge is where the face meets the face, and an edge, the base meets the face, and the vertex is just the corners. The vertex are just the corners. So now we're going to talk about unit cubes. The solid shown here is a unit cube. It is a cube in which all edges are 1 unit long. So we are going to be having different rectangular prisms and cubes with different measurements. So in this case, when we build our, like for example, a Rubik's Cube, they're all 1 unit long. 1, 1, and 1. So a cube, again, has 6 square faces. We know that all its faces are equal, 12 edges, and the length of all edges are equal. Here is another example of a unit cube, just in a different direction. Now this is where the fun begins. So when we do our volume, there's different strategies. Today we're going to start with strategy 1, which is just counting cubes. And then that tells us the volume. And these are irregular solids, meaning that they are irregularly shaped. They are not shaped like a perfect cube or a perfect rectangular prism. And in the classroom, we would have snap cubes. So these are representative of our snap cubes we have in the classroom. So let's go over how many How many cubes are used to build each solid? So let's look at A shape. So there's 1, 2, 3 cubes here, plus 1, 2, 3. So solid A has 6 unit cubes. You don't want to forget the cubes that might be hidden. Let's tackle B. Well, this is a cube 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the one behind it, 7. So B is made up of 7 unit cubes. Try these on your own and see if you get the same number as I do. And I'm going to go over them. So let's try to count these. Let's start with the back. 1, 2, there's one little one hidden there, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Letter C has 7 unit cubes. Then D has, let's count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Solid D has 8 unit cubes. So let's try these. Each of these solids, and look, they're just different ways to build them. Like you can take your Legos and we can build them together. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. This solid is made up of, let's see how many unit cubes. This is a little bit trickier. So this is called a rectangular prism. There are 2 layers, meaning this is a whole layer and then the bottom layer. So each layer has 6 unit cubes. So let's see if that's true. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. And then therefore the bottom also has 6, even if you can't see them in the picture. 6 plus 6, 12 unit cubes. Take a look. You can build solids using 2 or more snap cubes. We already tried those. And find the number of unit cubes to build each solid. Some of them are hidden. So let's try these. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 unit cubes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 unit cubes. Good. And here's some more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Good. 9 unit cubes. This one, let's start with the bottom layer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then the top, 6, 7. Good. 7 total unit cubes. This one is trickier. We got to remember that there are some that are hidden here. If you built Legos before, you know some could be hidden if you're not looking at them straight on. So let's start with these because these are just one layer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now let's know that here the top layer has 1, 2, 3, 4. So therefore the bottom layer, which is hidden, also has 4. So let's do this again. So if this has 4 plus the bottom is 4, that makes 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 unit cubes. Great job, guys. I want you to watch the study jams because that gives a really great background on the edges, the vertices, and the faces, and really great animation. You do not need to do any of the test yourself questions. And then for the work to do, workbook page 187, you could either type your answers below to these 6 questions on the number of unit cubes, or you can upload a picture of your work from the workbook. And then this page, also page 188, 7 through 11 as well. Again, you can write your answers right in this text box here, or you can upload a picture of your work from the workbook. Now, if you have your workbook, please do your work in the workbook and upload your images. We also downloaded a PDF of all the workbook pages for this unit. We're not going to be going through every single page of the workbook, but if you'd like to print a page from the workbook, if you don't have the actual hard copy, you may do so from the PDF. Okay, guys, have a wonderful day. Please do your workbook and the study jams. Bye-bye.